same system. Headphones.
Yes.
It is time.
MacGyver.
There we go.
My backdrop is just I like go outside at the moment. That's my backdrop.
See, the cool thing about your backdrop is like when like you since you go outside, for me it's just snow. There's just snow everywhere right now.
It's,
so it's
freezing
just like,
and frosty. I was just outside just now. I was like I needed just like a couple more shots for my video that I was doing. So I'm like, I don't want to go out, but I've got to do it. And like I was trying to do like,
and then you're always shirtless too when you're doing that stuff.
Become
so
like
it's
it's become a
gotta
meme.
show off the game.
So I can't not do it because then people would be like, why didn't you take your shirt off today? So like I have to do it. So I'm just like, no. And honestly, it's so cold out there today. Like it hurt. Like my insides were numb. So I did like punch bag, and even though I had gloves on, because it's so cold, all my hands have split. And then I was doing trying to do a planche, like a tuck planche on the wooden decking, because I was saying like my planche is coming along a lot. That's the line in the video. So I was like, I'll film a little bit of that. But it was so slippy and so cold, like I just couldn't. So I just had to come in and like, they don't get a shot of that today. Like that's not going in the video.
Okay, so do you get like whenever you do those sort of things, like do you ever like have you accidentally injured yourself when doing like oh god.
Yeah, like literally all the time.
let me select my microphone and there we go. Select the headphone. Perfect. All right, it should be coming. Is my audio coming through?
Yeah, sounds really good. I've got a
sweet.
Is mine loud enough?
Oh yeah, yours sounds great.
Awesome.
So I wanted to say like to go off that whole thing of like when you're talking when you're like filming something you just injure yourself. Like I did that with my box jumps once where like I was doing my Spider-Man Tough Like the Tunes, and there was that scene where I jump over like a ton of boxes,
which was amazing, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
Your jump height is nuts. Carry on.
I try. I think it pays off because I'm like just so hyper. I was always just bouncing as a kid. So
you're training every day by just bouncing up and down with excitement.
Exactly. I've been greasing the groove of how I like expand my muscle hypertrophy. Stuff
I'm
like
doing that when I'm bobbing my son to bed. I'm like I'm doing calf raises on my calves to like bobbing to sleep. I'm like I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna build some calves.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Honey, what are you doing? Nothing.
It really burns.
He's really out. Don't worry, he's out. Yeah, I know. Give me like a
I've got to go for a while. What happened with the box jump?
No, the box jump. What happened was I had set it up and I was just like, oh god, yeah, this is gonna be a good shot. And I literally got to like the top of it, and then like my feet hit the box on the front end, and so like
I'm always afraid of. That's the thing I'm always afraid of.
Yeah, and so like what happened was I just like tripped forward. I think I have it on camera. Like I destroyed that footage, of course, but I have it on camera. But like I just fell forward. I was just like, damn it, I almost had it. So we're just gonna go through this one more time, and then I got it, and then that's why I went like, yeah, and I was just like, okay, we're done for the day.
So you didn't knock your teeth out or anything. That's all right.
No, that is my fear. Like when I was doing handstands, that is my fear. Like I'm gonna fall and crack my teeth or something like that, or something. I'm just like, no. Oh.
Yeah, handstands are surprisingly scary, even though you're not that far from the floor. Actually, on the metal parallettes, I find that horrible.
Oh God!
I was like, if one of those hits me in the eye socket, it's not going to be good.
Right? Like yeah, because I've like fallen off. I've cracked my shoulder when doing those things. So I was just like, it took me such a long time to get back into it because I know, like for me, the way I learned how to do it was just like the casual way. Like there are so many better ways to like learn how to do handstands now, just from like all the tutorials. But like me back in the day, all I would do was just to, like push my feet, kick my feet against the wall, and just see how long I could hold it. And you just keep holding attempts like that until I finally got it. So like it was just
that's how I learned as well. But then you find out there are easier ways that you could have done it. But
right, like it's like there's so many like gymnasts who are like, well, actually that way is ineffective. Let me show you this, and I'm just like, I should have done this years ago.
It works. It worked though. We both sort of got it. But
yeah, we both got it.
The weirdest one for me was I was doing a handstand in the garden, and then just my finger just like went pop for no reason either. Like my hand was flat, so I never knew what happened, and it just went like pop, and that was painful. That was painful for like 9 months, and I couldn't like do anything, and I never knew what it went fat as well. It really swelled up, and that makes me scared because I'm like, but I didn't do anything, so it's like it might happen again. It never happened before, and it hasn't happened since. So obviously something like I must have like put my weight on it weirdly or something like. But that it was gross, and like I felt immediately sick, and then I got that on camera, and then you can hear my wife in the background going like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I think I hurt myself." She's just like every time I come home from filming, she's like, "Are you okay? Like, have you fallen off something this time?" Like,
right.
yeah, it's like a work hazard.
No, exactly. It is a work hazard. It's just like, okay, like give me some HR or something like that, but I'm the boss. So it's just like,
exactly.
It's so crazy because like there's so many times that happens where it's just like you're doing an exercise and you feel something and it's just like, did I hurt myself? Did I hurt myself? No, I didn't hurt myself. And then 5 hours later, your body's just like, well, I got some news for you.
yeah. Oh, so it's weird that, isn't it? When you don't know you did it. I did that like parkour training video with a guy, and it all went well. And then like the next day, my leg really hurt, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I was watching back the footage, and I realized when I was doing one of the vaults, I hit my leg on the way over, but I never felt it happen at the time. So it's just the next day, I'm like, oh, can't walk on my legs.
Adrenaline rush of just like
yeah. Well, then I did like a whole extra 2 hours of more stuff. So like obviously that probably didn't help either, you know, like
right.
That is the hazard of the job, isn't it? Because like if you fall off, you still got to get the shot. So you have to
exactly.
Like, I don't know about you, but I'm like, I'm gonna do it again. Like, and if it was, I would never tell someone to do that. I'd be like, nah, you're hurt, stop. But because you've got like a video due at the end of the week, you're like, no, I've got to try it again. Like, and then you beat yourself up. And then trying to do an actual workout the next day because you just spent the whole day filming the
No. That is so valid though, because like there are some times where it's just like I have to film this workout, but I also have to get my own workout.
Yeah. Massive problem.
It's such a massive problem because it's just like, oh, okay, I want to make sure this looks really good. I got this shot, but then the next day it's just like I still got to focus on me. I got to get myself.
Yeah, because we can't. We got to try and look sort of all right. Otherwise, no one's going to watch our stuff.
Exactly. No, that's the sad truth. It's just like when I have my abs out, it's just like, oh, hello. Or like most of the time, I just like wear my nerdy tank. So I'm just like, yes, guys, let's talk about this.
But yeah, no, like you're so right about that because if I'm going to do a video like say about jumping, then I can't do leg training the day before because like I won't be able to jump. And I can't do it the day after because now my legs are too tired from the jumping. So it's like, now what? I'm not going to do it this week. Yeah. And I'm in a lot better shape when I'm not filming videos because trying to fit it in around it is a nightmare, especially when it's like a 4-hour shoot. You're just like,
oh God, yeah. No. Like those shoots where we're like, because that whole thing is so bad. Like, especially like, because for me, I wear like a bunch of costumes and stuff like that. So it takes into a whole different account. Because I think like the last one I did Tough Like the Tunes from this character from this show called Jujutsu Kaisen, and like it was like freaking 90 degrees outside, and I'm like supposed to do everything he's doing in the show at like round power, and it's like I'm almost getting heat stroke. But I have to get this shot. I have to get the shot. And like if anyone else, like you said earlier, Adam, was just like, nope, go home. We're done for the day. But for me, I was just like, okay, I got my Gatorade. Let's just film this shot because it sucks.
Yeah, that's right as well. Like trying to get like the vibe. You're saying like do it in the heat because I was doing Black Widow training this week. That's the video that was supposed to come out today. Hopefully, it's going to come out tomorrow. But like. I wanted it to look sort of like, because you know she's Russian, and I sort of wanted it to look like sort of like cold and dingy. So I like went somewhere that was a bit run down. I found like this like abandoned like bit of rusty building. So the plan was to do that. But yeah, it means that like it's freezing cold and it's first thing in the morning. And there's a steam and it's like, but that's the effect. So I've got to do it. And then I get all grass cuts on my hand because the grass is frozen and they're really painful. So I'm not wearing my wedding ring today because I got like a grass cut underneath it. It's really painful.
Oh, I can imagine, dude. Like those are the type of things that like suck. Cause I remember I did like one for like this Hunter x Hunter one. And I was like, I got a grass cut too on like my finger. And I was just like, okay, this isn't that bad. Or I think I like nicked something in the grass that wasn't supposed to be there. Cause like my hand was just like dripping. I was just like, well, it adds to the shot of me like going through like this character would. So it's just like, oh God, those ones are just, it's like, I was like blood, sweat and tears for y'all. Blood, sweat and tears.
Yeah. I was suffering for my art sort of thing. But
exactly.
You kind of get like a lot of pride over them as well, don't you? Like you kind of really want it to look good, and like I don't know about you, I was trying to like make every video look a little bit different, so it's like something, you know, like you say, like try and get the vibe of whatever character it is across, and it's like a surprising amount of work to do all that, and always like buying new equipment. Like I know you obviously buy the costumes, but like you know, for my upcoming video, I'm doing ankle training, so for that I've bought like a slack line. And that's going to go well because I've never done slacklining before. Can't
Oh
see how
God.
that could possibly go wrong. I do like wobble board stuff and I balance on beams, but I've never done a slackline. So just going to set it up in a wood and then film it and probably break my ankle. So
right, and that's just like for those certain ones where you balance and stuff like that, especially like since you're wearing ankle weights with it, I always just go like, should I bring like some like Ghetto Pillows or something like that, just throw it on the side just in case, because it's just like I do not want to bust my ass, because like there is
I never even thought of that.
It's savior. It saves you so much, Adam, because it's like, because there are so many times where it's just like I have to handstand walk from this area to this area, and it's just like I will probably bust my back if I do this. I'm like, let me get some Ghetto Pillows, just throw them out just in case. Like I'm gonna keep them off screen, or I'll crop them off screen just in case. But it's just
I never thought of that. Bringing pillows, like or get a crash mat.
You safe.
The other day I was like, I've only just thought I should get like a yoga mat for when I'm doing push-ups on the grass outside, and like then I won't get frost grass cuts. Like
exactly.
You think that'd be a fairly basic idea?
Yeah, no. It's like some things will literally hit you like a freaking like bomb. It's just like, wait, that was such an obvious thing. Why didn't I do that before? Like for instance, like with the push-up thing, or like those black squishy mats you can get where you just put them on, and it's just like, okay, now I can do my abs outside and not have to worry about my back getting cut up, like you said, with like the grass and stuff like that. It's just like, that's
a good idea. I just recently bought a big like bag for my camera and stuff, because I got like a drone and stuff now, and I'm like, I could get a big backpack and put it all in, and it even holds the tripod on the side. But before that, I just put some of it in a Tesco carrier bag. So I had like a one camera bag, and then I'd have like a drone in a carrier bag. I'm like, this does not look super professional, like
right. Well, do you have like someone who like does the drone work for you when you do it, or do you just do
the drone's like brand new, so I've only done it once, and I did it myself that time. But I don't know if you've seen in the videos that Grant does on the channel. He's like,
the martial art one, right?
Yeah,
they're awesome.
I know, he's good, isn't he? And his editing is insane.
Yeah, he's a badass, dude. I watched the Batman one recently, and I made like a joke. I was like, like now I can just jump in the crowd like Arkham City and just
But just he like forces me to up my game, because he's done that, and everyone's like, wow, this is the best editing on the channel. I'm like, cool, right? I better try and like get better at editing then. But he's been helping me film like a couple of times, and we're going to hopefully do it more going forwards. So like hopefully that's going to be game changing, because like having someone to actually hold the camera is like a big deal, because like all my shots are static, and I just sort of switch from one to the other and do like a bit of a zoom in or something. But like when he's following it, I think we've got quite a similar workflow. Sounds like we just grab a bunch of stuff, go to a space. And
exactly. Like for me, my whole thing is like, because before I would just film it on my phone, because when I was starting off, it was just like my iPhone has a good camera. Let me like just put this down over here. There we go. Pick it up. Then I like invested, got an actual camera, and I was just like, okay. But again, like you said, it's just like tripod static. And it's just like, and so like sometimes I'm able to go like, I'll get my folks to like help me, or I'll get my friends to help me or something like that. It's just like, hey man, I'll buy you lunch after this. Just like film me do this thing. Cause one thing I used to love doing is I would film in the gym in my costumes, but then like I went to a new gym, and the new gym was like, no, you can't work out. That's a liability. Okay, if you get hurt, then like blah blah blah. And it's just like, we let you do that, and I'm just like, oh, fine, whatever. So most of my stuff is like, it made me adapt, which was good, but it was just like, oh man, I kind of missed that, because sometimes gym goers would come up to me like I did a Deadpool one, and there were so many people like, I love this, let me film this. It was just like that was so much fun.
Yeah, so cool. I think in the UK, like they're way stricter on that. Like all the gyms I go to, they're really like, oh, don't bring a camera in here. Or Grant just walks into the gym at his place with the camera and no one says anything to him. So I don't know, like he's got a different vibe there. But here
it's just like I will karate kick you.
That's probably why no one says anything, because they see him on the mitts and pads and they're like, we'll leave that guy. But I bring one. So I like sometimes like sneak. I bought a GoPro like literally just to sneak into the gym, so I can like snap it to stuff and like put it at angles where people can't really see I'm doing it. But they get really funny about it. But so I go out in the field, and the same thing, like people come up to me and say like, so what you doing? Like, someone came to me in the field yesterday, and they said that I was scaring the dog walkers, like some lady had seen me, because I was in a bush and I was topless and I was lizard crawling along a log. And she was like, apparently just ran and told this guy. So he's like, excuse me. I was like, what are you doing? Like, because I wasn't on the path as well. I was like in a bush next to the path. So I'm like, oh, hello, good sir. I'm just, just doing some filming. Nothing weird to see here. Like,
there's a camera right there. Like, this is not.
But that might make it weirder as well. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like, are you filming people you shouldn't be filming, son?
Yeah, exactly. Whilst also crawling like a lizard.
Yeah. Just crawling like a lizard.
Watch as I hunt my prey.
Yeah, watch as I hunt my prey. Or just like hand stack and walk in the neighborhood. Like, yeah, I don't know what he's doing. This guy is weird. Like that.
Exactly.
Because see, I think we're kindred spirits on that, because I get so many looks because, again, I wear the costumes out in public. Like, one time I was wearing this Inosuke cosplay, this character from Demon Slayer wears this pig head. I was wearing it out in public, and then like the neighbors are just like, what's going on out there? Like, what's doing it? It's just like, I'm just like going around in a freaking outfit with a pig head on. They're just like,
that probably normal? Is even weirder than my shots. So that's reassuring to know.
Oh no, I try to, because like luckily for me, like there's this big field by my house, so I'm just like that. I have to go when no kids are like getting off from school. Everyone's at work, like working their 9 to 5. So it's just like this time, this area, this is a blank. This is a blank field, and it's just like a playground. And so it's just like sometimes though you'll see someone. They go to the basketball court, and like this one time I had like this big sword. No. It was this one time I was dressed as freaking Jason Voorhees from Friday 13th, and I had a
that's gonna scare some people.
Yeah, and I had like a fake machete, and I was carrying my friend to get the shot of like, oh, Jason carries people. This is why this is a good exercise. And so like someone was just like, oh god, and then like my friend immediately got my back. No, this is a filming. We're filming a video, and I was just like, look, I'm a guy.
Yeah,
like
this. Yeah, which again, like people are like, well, that's even weirder.
Yeah, it's just weirder. What you doing? Don't get your kinks out here, son. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like, oh god.
One of the weirder ones I did recently was I was sponsored by a cereal company, and I thought it'd be funny if I was doing my push-ups and then the camera like zoomed out and there was just a bowl of cereal next to me and I ate it on the field. So I was just eating a bowl of cereal on the field. Like I thought it'd be good if I was in a resting squat. So, and some kids were walking past and like, that guy is like topless eating a bowl of cereal in the middle of the field. Like, what is happening right now?
It's just like, mommy, what's he doing? No, we're going to leave now, son.
But like, I've always thought in a way, like it's weird that you don't see more people doing weird stuff,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why aren't more people making weird videos? Like, everyone does the same thing and you do something weird and you really stand out. Like, but I think it's partly definitely even more so in the UK, maybe. Is it a little bit?
No, it's so true, because like everyone is obsessed with like social media stuff these days, so it's just like you would think that they would be doing more, which is occasionally I will see someone like walking around in like a Naruto headband or something like that, and I'm just like, oh, okay, there we got that. But like most of the stuff, like every time like I do my stuff, like I never, like that'd be funny, like running out in the wild, like seeing someone else filming a weird thing and I'm already filming a weird thing, and it's just like, oh.
Hey man, like if we lived in the same area and we hadn't watched each other's videos, like
right, exactly. It's just like, hey, guy handstand and shirtless, I'm in a pig head, how's it going?
How you doing?
Yeah, just crawl with you.
Yeah.
Like
and
that.
Also I think that in a way, like they're like we're saying, like we go out and we get hurt and sort of a little bit and like hot and stuff, but in a way I think they're like quite good workouts, because it's you're sort of really using your body, doing something different every single time. Like that's one of the hopefully like good things people get from our channel, is that you don't have to just like stand in
do the basic stuff.
No. Yeah,
I lift things up, I put them down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can make it like creative and fun and things. So yeah, hopefully people like get that from it.
No, I hope so too, because like what I've started doing now, just because like we were talking about earlier, how exhausting like it is to film those, or sometimes like I will literally make my like film days for like a Tough Like the Tunes or anything like that, like my workout day. It's just like, this is going to be, I'm going to film this exercise from so many different angles that it'll count as like 3 to 4 sets.
Yeah, that's it. It's like the angles as well, isn't it? That's the
yes. So it's just like a set. It's just like, how many exercises are there? All right, so let's say 10 exercises. Okay, how many angles am I going to get? Like 5, and how many reps am I going to do to demonstrate?
It's pretty good workout.
So it's just, so there you go. I got my workout in for the day. So like that's how
and you have to like
always
plan it in order to make it so that you can do all the stuff, because like you say, like you want to make it look good. So if you want to do like, I don't know about you, but there's no way I can do like a handstand press at the beginning of the video and then do like a heavy shoulder press later on, because I'm going to be spent. So you need to like plan it out, just like taking into account your own like energy levels and things.
No,
Like,
exactly.
that's one of the mistakes I made today, because I was trying to do a bit of planche training, like tuck planche, but I did the heavy bag first to warm up. And then I did the heavy bag too much. And then I went to do that. I was just like, nope.
Right.
So it didn't help that it was freezing cold.
No, that is 100% valid, because like sometimes there are videos where I'll do it and it's just like the video can either be like, sometimes the video shoot days are like, either like an hour or 2, sometimes they're 4, sometimes 7, because like there are times where it's like, I am not recovered enough to do this portion, but I need to get this shot so we can get this video out by this time. And so it's just like, okay, like you mentioned with the handstand push-ups and the shoulder, like for me, like for those ones, I always try to get advanced calisthenic moves like out the way first, because it's just like, I can do this.
Always.
And so like with like the weight training, it's like they'll give me a bit of lenience because they just saw me do this badass calisthenic work. So it's just like,
you kind of hope so. Also, you got to be like, not every time do you have to lift your heaviest thing, like
right.
You have to be like, I can't lift heavier sometimes, honest.
Yeah, it's just like, look, I am way strong, like, because I have this like sort of thing where I always say like it's like DBZ where you're hiding your power level, where it's just like you feel like it's just like you can walk around all like yoked and swole like most of the time, but then like sometimes it's just like you look like casual. It's just like, well, he doesn't seem that strong, and then you do some strength feat, like a handstand or like a planche or something like that, and it's just like, oh well, I take what I said back. And so like that's what I always just like keep in mind. It's just like, this will impress you. Give me some lenience, please.
I do exactly that. I always try and put like one impressive thing in, like just so that like people are like if it's their first video, you want them to think like, well, he's got some basic level of skill. Like, so every video I got to do just one, like at least one thing that's kind of good.
Right, exactly. No, it's just like you need to have like in each video is like one thing is like, oh, are you actually in shape? Yes, I am. Okay, well, he's got abs and stuff like that, but what can you do physically? Oh, handstand. Oh, okay. And then like, or a muscle up.
Yeah, exactly.
Right there. You fixed my mic just came out because I got excited. Let me adjust you microphone. Oh, there we go. All right, is my mic back?
Yep, you're good.
Sweet. Yeah, but like, that was a thing where I was doing the stuff, and I was just like, every time I do a video, like you just said, it's just like I got to make sure like they see that I actually am in shape. I'm not just some guy saying random stuff, because it's like it'd be so easy to just be like, so in Dragon Ball, you see why you should do this. So let me just wear a very baggy clothes to show I have no idea what I'm talking about. But like, Goku was able to do this in 5 seconds, so a human being should be able to. So like,
exactly. It's like gives you a little bit of authority, maybe, if you can do like one good thing. But that's probably what like makes it hard every time, isn't it? Because you can't just can't just phone it in. Right.
Exactly. There's sometimes when you hold on, did my microphone go out again?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. For a second, I thought my thing, because I bumped it, and I'm like, every time I'm like, just because I do so many podcasts, I'm like hyper focused, like I didn't destroy it, did I? So but no, like as you were saying, like it's just like, have that authority with what we're talking about, because like that's what I love about both our channels. Like when we talk about something, it's just like you're like very like the scientific, like this is how you do this, and it's like very educational. It's like, oh yeah, it's great. And for me, like I like to like talk about it in a way. It's like, let me be educational, but let me throw some goober shit in there because it's me. So it's just like,
I do that too. Like,
no, exactly. I love that. Like, don't fear, the Bioneers here. So, like,
and also Vegeta, look.
Vegeta, look. Yeah, exactly.
A random clip, and because quite a lot of people, like I have quite a lot of videos that aren't at all about superhero training, and then someone comes along and it'll be like a really serious video, and then there's a random clip of like Sonic the Hedgehog, and they'll be like, let me put the Sonic the Hedgehog in there. Like,
why is Sonic in there? I do that too. Like, so valid.
Yeah, and people are like, well, that was weird, but they kind of seem to put up with it. The other thing as well is like, I don't know about you, but like you can be like quite self-conscious because you got to get your technique like on form, because like you get critiqued in the comments, and like I actually really like the feedback. Like my boxing like is like very beginner. I used to do karate like years ago, and then there was like a big gap, and like karate doesn't look that good on a heavy bag anyways, so like I just had like bad boxing form, but I was doing it like for the cardio and just to kind of learn. Then you get all these comments like, dude, like your boxing's terrible, sort of thing. And like on the one hand, like the ones that give me feedback, I really appreciate it, because like I've genuinely been able to get better. Like Grant's showing me some stuff, but at the same time, like their comments, they're like, try this or visualizing this, and like sometimes like, wow, man, that really helps. But like,
exactly.
If you're gonna do something like a deadlift or like a squat, and you get your form wrong, like which I mean happens from time to time, like then someone copies it, or like they're just like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about at all, or you put it back out. Like, so I don't know about you, but I'm like hypercritical of all my clips. I'm like, I can't use that one, like my back rounded a little bit. Can't use that one, like my heel came off the floor. Can't use that one, my knees are knocking outwards a bit. Like, that makes it like, do you have that problem?
No, I have that problem so many times. And like, again, like I'm grateful to like commenters who will like say like, oh, this, like, for example, like, one of the things was I go back like certain old videos. I'm like, oh yeah, my form wasn't the best there. But like, what's cool is like, because of the community, it's just, there are so many people who are martial artists, who are boxers, and are like, oh, this part right here is like, because for me, I used to do like MMA back in the day, and like stuff like that. And like when I was a kid, I used to do Taekwondo. And so like, but it's, again, I learned it specifically just for like self-defense. So like if someone tries and was like, hey, I got some hands, I could do it. But like, I always wanted to get back into it. But then, like freaking the thing happened across the planet. So I was like, I couldn't go to a gym and go do all that stuff. So I just found various ways. But it's always cool, like, because I have so many friends who are fighters and boxers and stuff like that. And they'll be like, oh, well, you know what? You're all right. I appreciate the effort, but you're doing this wrong. Try it like this. And I'm like, okay, how's that? And I'm like, oh, like for instance, one of the things I used to have a problem with was my my hooks. My hooks were just like terrible. But like a friend of mine was like, hey, try this and lowering it. I was just like, oh, that makes a world of difference. And so it became a lot more fluid. So I appreciate that over like the comments, like, you suck. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. It's just like,
why are you
tell me.
That?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. And so like, I try to better myself every video, like you said as well, because like there's sometimes when I do an exercise, like I will use like, the lightest weight possible, just like, and I always say like, leave your ego at the door, get the form down, and then progressively,
especially when you're tutorializing it. Like I've been doing that. I'm like, if I'm going to show someone how to do this, then like don't pick up the heaviest weight you can to show off, like, because then your form might not be perfect and you're going to be like red in the face and you can only do it once. Like instead, like use really light weights. So I'll be like, this guy can only lift that weight, but at least I'm doing the form right and like I'm teaching them right, sort of thing, which is
exactly
more important at the end of the day. But and what you said as well about looking at old videos, that's so true. I look back at old videos and I'm like, this is wrong, like I'm doing that wrong, like and it's really good that you've progressed, but at the same time, like that's still up there on YouTube. And you know, forever, unless you take it down, which is obviously, then people are like, what are you hiding? Or
yeah, exactly. No, some people are like, why are you hiding? Or like, like there's so many videos where I'm just like, I would love to reboot that or something like that. But then it's just like, no, because I think like it's done its part, but it's just like, there's so many ways about that. And it is one of those situations where like I am hyper focused on like protecting like the people who watch my content. So I'm always just like, hey, if you have this issue, like, because like I noticed sometimes it's just like I was really hyper focused on this because like I've gotten so many injuries over the years, just like I want to help prevent people from getting those injuries. So I'm just like, make sure your form is right, listen to your body, make sure you're warmed up, drink your water, and if you feel like any tension that doesn't feel like good achy pain, like stop immediately, check yourself. There is no shame in that, because like sometimes it just feels like people will get in their face like, oh, you can only live that amount, and then they feel like the edge to be like, no, I gotta show them up and stuff like that. It's like, no, don't let them get to you. Like focus on you. You're gonna go further. So
no, I actually, that's something I've always really liked about your videos. Like you're always like, sort of welcoming to people and telling like, be careful and like, stop if you do this, like, and super important, because people are like so competitive even just with themselves, and like just saying those things at the beginning can like really make a difference. Like listen to your body, like and at least, and like you say, you kind of want these people that watch to make gains and get better and not hurt themselves because of you, which is like quite a big responsibility, isn't it? And and you are going to make some mistakes, like when you're showing people how to do stuff. Like nobody's perfect, it can't be like so like just saying stuff like get a spotter, take it easy to begin with, like that's it makes such a big difference, I think.
No, it does. It makes such a world of difference, just because it's like there are so many times like I look at something like I like the ones I'm very hyper focused on, like people protecting, just because I've had injuries with them, is like my shoulder, elbows.
Yeah, your shoulder went on for a long time, didn't it?
Yeah, that was because of handstands, ironically. And so like I fell on it weird, and it just like I was just like, I don't need to do anything, I'm just gonna just keep doing my normal thing, and made it worse. And then I was finally able to get it better because of like mobility and yoga and all that stuff.
You said yoga helped it a lot, but then that's really cool as well, that the fact that you fixed it, because that's something that I feel like if you keep pushing and you eventually find the thing that will help you, And like, because of the nature of our jobs, we can't just be like, well, I've got a bad shoulder forever. Then I had a bad knee for like 2 years and eventually fixed it. Like, it makes
right.
If you just
how'd you fix yours?
Like I hurt it ironically using barefoot shoes, because I really believe in barefoot shoes, but I like got them for the first time and I sprinted, because I'm an idiot, sprinted around the block on concrete, like, which is not what you're supposed to do. And like, obviously my form was all different and things, because I hadn't, like, everyone says ease into them, pretty much what we're saying to everyone else, ease into stuff. But then I just, it really hurt, and like for ages going downstairs. But then like I just did loads of exercise, and I feel like the barefoot shoes actually then helped to improve it again, because like it improved my biomechanics. And just I found as well, really randomly, that leg extensions like fixed it, and jogging in the barefoot shoes. Like jogging for a lot of knee pain would be, I think the issue was with the patella tracking, it turned out. I think I just needed to really strengthen the muscles around there to, like, keep it in line. And when I did that, like it fixed. And then I didn't squat for like a year and a half, really. And then like one day I just realized it hasn't hurt for like 6 months. Like I'm fixed, and I can now do everything again. But yeah,
that's such a nice feeling though. Like that feeling when you just realize, like, no way, like, oh my God, this doesn't work. Like, because I know occasionally, like every now and then I'll hear some crackles, but it's not like painful. And then like, as long as I do like the modified exercises, of course, it's like not gonna do it. Because like I know, like for me, one thing that I used to do a lot was I would used to do my shoulder presses out here. And then I was just like, oh, that would give me, I noticed impingement whenever I did that. So I just stayed to a neutral shoulder grip, just because this is a very natural plane of movement for the shoulder. And I was just like, no pain. And I was just, and like I started doing all this other stuff, and I was just like, yeah, wow. And so like I just kept doing that, and it's just like, it feels great. I can like punch again, I can do all that stuff. And it was like, yeah, it feels awesome. So it is one of those things. And then like with yoga, like again, I always tell people out there, like, because some people are like, are you serious? Like, no, I was serious. Like when I started doing yoga, I guess just because of all the blood flow and the fact you're just so mobile and you're stretching everywhere, it made me feel so good just to do it. And I was just like, okay, like let me do that. And then like I was just like thinking of like various things, like just seeing how I could like progress further with my stretches. And I was like, this is fun, this is doing it. And then one day I just noticed, like, no pain.
My mate had a bad shoulder for like 3 years, and he was a big lifter. Like he could bench more than me. He was benching like 160 on a decline. Sorry, he only did decline for some weird reason, but he could, like, he had this amazing bench, and his shoulder was bad for years. And he said what fixed it for him was just literally loads of downward dog. And he followed this program that would just have him like hold downward dog for like ridiculous amounts of times, like 5 minutes of just being in downward dog. And so he did that, and it fixed it for him, which, but the thing is, like, if you give up and you just be like, I'm someone now who has a bad shoulder, then like you never fix it. But if you keep trying and exercise, and like you got to strengthen it, you can't push through this thing that hurts, but you also can't just ignore it, because then you're going to avoid that movement pattern. You're going to get more and more tense. You're going to create like compensatory movement patterns. Like I think it's so important just to like not give up and to keep trying, like, until you find something that works. And mobility, like, is massive. Like so many people, I think, who think they want to get in shape, I should go to the gym and lift heavy weights. I think they'd actually be better off starting off with mobility, because I think more people have got terrible mobility than more people are really, really weak. Like like loads of people can't touch their toes, loads of people can't get into a squat with their heels on the floor, like, and that's sort of like basic stuff.
It's like, it is such a thing that I'm always like encouraging people, and I always like try to like either like program it in, or like have a thing where it's like, hey, make sure you're like focusing on mobility work, or trying this thing, or like here, like because I just ordered one of those new mobility sticks I got with like the whole thing, and I'm just like, I'm excited for that thing when it gets here. Like because I love those mobility sticks.
I love when you get a cool new piece of training kit.
You can do a video about it. No, I might actually, because I want to like fuse it with one of my Tough Like Tunes coming up, and I was just like, oh, this feels like so good, because I haven't had one of those in a while, since I was like in college, just trying that stuff out. And so it's just like I love mobility training. I love like the flexibility. I love being able to move my body through like various like pieces of like motion.
It makes such a difference, doesn't it?
It makes like a colossal difference.
You find yourself like too. I do like a normal thing, like I'll bend down to pick something up, and I'll be like, oh, hang on, like I just did like a really good like bend like here, like whereas before I might have rounded my back or something, I'm like, no, I did like a really good deep squat, or I did this, like just as part of normal movement now, because like you've regained that. You can see like you're much less likely to injure yourself, and just moving so much better. I've just recently got a yoga wheel, and I'm really I'm really enjoying that actually, because I think thoracic mobility is something that I'm like a little bit lacking on, and like it creates so many like side effects to that, because then like your shoulder mobility needs to be really good to get straight, because now you're like bending forwards, and like when I'm in a handstand the other day, like my legs sort of went too far quickly, and I realized I was bending in my lower back. And then I found out that's because I didn't have the mobility in the thoracic spine, that I was actually doing it there instead. So like, yeah, you fix this one thing that you think, like, no one really thinks about it, do they? Normally, like, when's the last time like your gym bro mate was like, man, I need more thoracic mobility? Like they just don't. But like it fixes so much stuff.
It is so true though. Like it is one of those situations where you talk to like you said, gym bro mate, and it's just like, so we're gonna work on our pecs and back and stuff like that, and it's just like, oh well, are we gonna do anything, you know, for flexibility or cardiovascular conditioning or anything like that? It's like,
cut off. Yo, dudes and dudettes, fellow neighbor JAXBLADE here. And yes, this is going to be cut in half. The second part is going to be on Adam's channel on the Bioneer, so be sure to go check that out. It'll be uploaded around like 1 p.m. tomorrow, so, you know, go subscribe and all that jazz. But also be sure to subscribe here. Hit that bell icon, subscribe. I upload a ton of great content from various characters, and you're gonna not want to miss Tough Like the Tunes this year. It's going to be so updated. It's going to be so badass. I cannot wait to, I'll do a premiere for the first one in the new year, so you can see what I'm talking about. So be sure, you know, share it with all your friends. Also, new with that workout's coming. Also working on a mega Spider-Man video like I did with my mega TMNT video. So we look forward to that. And yeah, just a ton of stuff I'm working on. So again, it was so great to finally meet Adam on the Bioneer. Like we wanted to do this for a while. And again, it will not be the last time we interact or do anything like that. So be sure to keep that in mind. But again, thank you all for watching. Keep calm. Booyah on, and don't forget, Momentai. Peace out, train hard.